In a quiet town called Willow Creek in the United States, there lived an old man named George, who lived alone in his small house at the end of a silent street where everything felt calm and still. Inside his room, there was an old wooden clock hanging on the wall, ticking slowly. Tick-tock, tick-tock. This clock was not just a clock, it was a memory, a last gift from his wife who had given it to him many years ago. She used to say that as long as this clock keeps ticking, their time would never truly end. But one day, she passed away, and after that, George's life became filled with silence. Every night before going to sleep, George would sit under the clock and talk to it, as if she could still hear him. He would say, "Today was a very quiet day. I wish you were here. Do you remember our old days?" And slowly, this became his habit. One night, a heavy storm came. Rain was hitting the windows and the wind was blowing strongly, when suddenly the clock stopped and the ticking sound disappeared, leaving the room completely silent. George quickly stood up, walked toward the clock, and softly said, "Please, don't stop." That night, he couldn't sleep because the silence felt too heavy, as if he had lost his last memory. The next day, he tried many times to fix the clock, but he could not succeed. Days passed, and his sadness kept growing. One evening, a young boy came to his door and said, "Sir, I heard your clock stopped. Can I take a look?" George allowed him, and the boy opened the clock, smiled gently, and said, "It's not broken. It just needs a little help." He fixed a small part inside, and the clock started ticking again. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Tears filled George's eyes, but this time they were tears of happiness. That night, George sat under the clock again and softly said, "Thank you for staying." And after a long time, he finally slept peacefully.